why is it that when Paro decided to make life hard for the Yidden, so he said you have to keep the same quota without straw, without kashrut heaven. Just he could have done something else. He could have made it that they had to double the quota, to triple the quota. But why is it that he took away the heaven? So the Satmar Dayan from America gave this teretz that I just heard. I mean, I've heard there many teretzim. One is this: there was a desire to have the Yidden leave Goshen. Goshen was an insulated area from the very beginning. It's Eretz Mitzrayim, but it certainly is not as bad as far as all Eretz Oretz. So therefore, it's Vayofetz Ha'om B'chol Eretz Mitzrayim. The Egyptians wanted that the Yidden should have to leave Goshen to be able to get straw in all Mitzrayim. So therefore, this would break down the protection of Kedusha that they had by staying in that area, in the insulated area. That's one mahalach of many, but it's an interesting consideration. Another idea is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu speaks to Moshe Rabbeinu and tells Moshe Rabbeinu that tell Paro that B'ni B'chari Yisrael must leave Eretz Mitzrayim. The Nesiv Shalom says it's important to understand B'ni B'chari Yisrael. Rashi says B'chari Yisrael is a Lashon Gedula. Klal Yisrael are holding my mem tes shari tumah. What's shaykh to say? B'ni B'chari Yisrael. But the truth, wait till after Mount Torah, but not now. So he says fakir. The idea we say Musar Hashem B'ni al Timos, that the best we understand that Klal Yisrael has a special position with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. A Yid is B'ni, and therefore even in Mem Tes Shari Tumah is the Yid Yisrael Afal Pi Shechad, and therefore no Jew should ever feel I'm cut off. I can't make a contact with Hashem. We see it from the very beginning that the Kadosh Baruch Hu had the relationship of B'ni B'chori Yisrael, even though they were on a low madrega. Low, it's such a terrible madrega, but the Afal Pichein, that we have a kasher with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that is it. No one should feel chas v'shalom that he's ever cut off. Now let's go to Vaeira itself. It's interesting. Vaeira El Ha'avos. Rashi says Vaeira El Ha'avos. The Meforshim say, well, why do you have to say El Ha'avos? We know El Abraham, El Yitzchak, El Yaakov, and each one, by the way, has an El. El Abraham. It's mentioned in the Parsha Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov together in one grouping a couple of times. However, in the very beginning, it is El Abraham, El Yitzchak, El Yaakov. Why the El every time? And we have the same thing Shemona Esrei, El Abraham, El Yitzchak, El Yaakov. So when we know the Mahalach is that each one was different. Chesed for Abraham, for the Din for Yitzchak, Gvura for Yitzchak, and Emes for Yaakov, Rachman for Yaakov. Fine. But the understanding you get is each one had his own derech and avodas Hashem. Everybody is different. Each of us have Al Pi Chazal, a different avodah, something that we can work in vis-a-vis our Tchunas and Nefesh. But says the Rashi mentions Eira El Avos. What's the purpose of saying El Avos? We know already Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov. So I have a number of mahalchim, but one is the fact that each of Avraham Yitzchak and Yaakov, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to them, it was giving over the spiritual DNA to us. That's it. He was an Av. He was just not giving to Avraham. No, Avraham was an Av, and that goes to us. So we have the kochos of Avraham Yitzchak and Yaakov for each of us. If you take a look at Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema in Pirkei Avos, where it says, "She'az Kenemra," you should be Kal Kenesher, Rutz Kitzvi, and Gibor Ka'ari, and also every one of us has kochos in us that enables us to be Oiver Hashem under all circumstances. Something given over to us from the others. The other consideration is Avos. No one looked. You know, Yaakov didn't say, oh, my grandfather, my father. Yitzchak never said, my father. Avos, I'm the Av. I have to look at myself. The same thing with us. I mean, we have to be, it's nice. It's chas v'shalom, I'm not taking away anyone's zuchus avos. But we see from the derech and Chazal is that's the way it has to be, and grow from that. It's not going to help us if we have, in this sense, to get into Gan Eden. The code is TAM 1. TAM 1. What's TAM 1 on the code? It's going to be Torah and mitzvahs 1. I'm the one, and it has to work, from that aside. The Pasuk says, Ani Hashem. It says, Vayedu Mitzrayim K'ani Hashem. So what's the idea? Says the Baal Shem Tov and others. Vayedu Mitzrayim K'ani Hashem. Well, do we really care? What if Mitzrayim knows that Kadosh Baruch Hu is who he is? According to the Nesiv Shalom, we do. Because after all, the whole purpose of Klal Yisrael, purpose of Klal Yisrael is to bring everybody closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu. But that's not the Mahalach in the Baal Shem Tov. He said, Vayedu Mitzrayim. That chelik of Mitzrayim, which is in every Yid who is in Mitzrayim. And you translate it over to here. I don't mean to offend anybody. But the Mitzias is that anyone who came from America for any period of time, or England, or whatever it is, we have within us that part of a goy, which is part of us. Even those of us who were born here, we have wherever it comes. The Chavetz Chaim once said that he feels the outside influences coming into his house. He was too old to go out. So somebody's a Rebbe, what do you feel? It comes in, it seeps in. And the Ma'aseh says, if the Chavetz Chaim seeped into him, he just felt it where we may not. But the fact is that it's the Sviva is the Sviva. The person has to be careful, but be aware. Otherwise, the person's walking around, Chas v'Shalom, with a disease. He doesn't know, I'm fine. Not so fun. Azay is this. I have to be careful, and therefore, Vayedu Mitzrayim, the chelik in each and every single one of us, of that. There's an Ani Eksha, a slave paro. There's a lot of red on the Indian of Ani Eksha. It's interesting, the Chavetz Chaim says, Ani Eksha, is that Paro, why is it that Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't let him do tshuva? Why not let him do tshuva and say no? There are a lot of terutzim on that, I understand that. However, one that the Chavetz Chaim says is that Lu Yitzur, he had done tshuva. If he would have, accepted the tshuva, which means, that's what the Rambam says, and Mishnah says, Chavetz Chaim says that any person, he brings Makaros from Nevi'im, that no one is going to be able, if he really means it, to not do tshuva. And therefore, that's one of the reasons that Hashem was v'ekshas libo. That's a mahalach. There are many other mahalachim that don't hold this way in particular, but it does mean the door is open always for a person to do tshuva. He really, really tries. He won't get siyata d'shmaya. He won't get that bas kol that says shuva banu shavavim and chanami. But it can be done if he does. In the Rashi, it says v'ani ekshe. When there was a tsunami, I was in the States at that time. So the Rashi says there, up north, Zion Gimel. He says, "V'chein midasu shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, maybe peronius al ha'umos ovdei alilim, kidei sheyishmu Yisrael v'yiro, shenemar, v'hechrati goyim noshmu pinosim." I have destroyed goyim, and I have and their towers. Amarti ach tiri osi tikli musar. I've said, look, fear me, take a lesson. He says to the Klal Yisrael. I mean, it's the Gemara in Yevonis too. Ein peronius baal almost element shul Yisrael. That type of thing. The idea is that these things happen to the umos, so that we should be able to get the lesson. I have here, and some of you have this. You can probably see this. Is how much time do we have left? Okay. I'm like, all of us have seen different drochim of the tzachadash b'achad. I want to share with you from Rav Shamshik Raphael Hirsch. And this is the way he learns. Like I say, many different derech. It's based on the fact of Ger Yazercha, the Eres Lola. The Ger. Just take that. They're going to be Gerim. And the land that doesn't belong to them. The Avodim, and they will be enslaved. The Inuosam, and they will be afflicted. Three different ideas. Geris, Avdus, and Inui for Arba Meir Shana. So then, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has Moshe bring the Makkos. So here's what happens. Each one of the Sachadash Ba'achad is parallel to Geras, Inu, Abdus, and Inui. A person goes into a country, he feels comfortable in the country, he gets an idea of how the climate is and how the dirachim become, and he also can travel wherever he wants to travel. He feels comfortable. He doesn't feel strange, and he doesn't feel in any way as an alien. Then when it comes to Abdus, and what is an Eved? An Eved has no status, an Eved has no money, owns nothing. And finally, Inu is Inu. We understand what that is. Howsoever, we should never have to go through it. When it comes to Dam, the Egyptians felt comfortable with the Nile and everything else. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, you're going to feel like a stranger, like a ger, like the Yidden did. Then the Svardeikam, they jumped all over the Egyptians. You have no status. Nobody fears you. There's nothing. Finally, Kinum, Inui. Okay, you didn't let them go. Let's try it again. Orov comes. Whether it killed people or not at the time didn't make a difference, but they were afraid to walk in the streets. They were now strangers in their own land. The Dever killed all their livestock. They own nothing, like an Evan owns nothing. Finally, Shchin, Inui. You didn't let them go. Let's try it again. Burma, climactic change. They've never had anything like this at all. But now they're like, wow, they just don't know how to handle this whole change of so much being strange in their own land. Arba destroys all their crops. A terrible market because things have to grow back before they have anything to eat. But they own nothing, like an Evan owns nothing. Choshech, it encrusted them. People went mad. Some people died. You can imagine the situation when they couldn't go anywhere else, when they had to take care of their needs during the period, the part of the Choshech. Finally, Makkah's Becharis is something different. But this is just a difference. Now, I know there are many other approaches to the Tzachadash B'achad, but this is Shamshin for Hirsch, and I hope that it gives us another insight into the whole there. Any more time? Okay, it was Loz's Azay. Good Shabbos.